mygreatchallenge.blogspot.com, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about a book haul. Yes, because I do read a lot of books. I'm constantly reading. There's always a book by my bedside table. Right now I'm reading, what's the name of it? Shatter Me, from the Shatter Me series. And yeah, I know it's young adult and I know it's dystopian, but I'm enjoying it and I actually can't wait to read the second one. So these books I got at bookoutlet.com. I got 6 of them and it cost me less than $30. Hello, you can go wrong with that. So if you're not familiar with bookoutlet.com, I'll put the link below right here. And they're not secondhand, they're brand new. Some of them may have scratch and dents, but they overstock, I guess, books. And that doesn't mean that they're not popular books or books that nobody wants to read. They're actually pretty good books. I mean, and you can find some popular books. The Hunger Game is on it, and I believe Shatter Me was on it as well. So check it out. Someone on my Facebook page asked me for hints and tips on how to get books. Most of my books I get on Amazon, only because it's easier and I have Prime, so I don't pay for shipping. I go to Barnes & Nobles quite a lot, and I'm one of those who can't just walk into Barnes & Nobles and leave empty-handed. There's always a book or 2 or 3 that ends up on my bookshelf after the trip. But there's other ways to obtain books that are much cheaper. Like you can go to Goodwill, for instance, and get books for like $1 or $2. Those, of course, would be used. Although sometimes you do find some that are brand new that people just bought and never read, or just started 2 or 3 pages and just put aside. But they're in good condition for the most part, and then you have some that have been like seriously beat up. Another place to get books would be, and I'm putting the link right here as well, abebooks.com, A-B-E-B-O-O-K-S. So this one is coming from a variety of sellers. Like you can have people like all over the place selling their books, and you can find, you know, books by title, by keyword. You can find them by USBN number as well. And so that's what I usually do. If I want a book, I would go on Amazon first. I would copy and paste the USBN, put it into AbeBooks and see if they have it. Most of their books would be $1, $2, sometimes $3, but the shipping is usually what costs more money. So you would have a book that's $1, but the shipping would be $3.95 or $4.95, something like that. I have purchased quite a few books from abebooks.com. Now you're not going to find the new ones. They have them, like the books that just came out this year, for instance. They will have them, but they'll have them at just about the same price than you would find them on Amazon or barnesandnobles.com. If you're looking for a book that was published, you know, a couple of years ago, they definitely would have it for $1. So that's one of the reasons why I use AbeBooks. Like when I'm behind my reading and everybody's been talking about this book for so long, I finally catch up with it. I'll say, yeah, you know what, let me just go on AbeBooks and find it there. I'm sure there's other places. Recently I was watching some YouTube videos about book hauls and what people are reading, because I kind of like run out of ideas. I mean, I tend to read the same kind of type of books over a period of time and I just get bored with the style. So I was looking for new ideas and new ways to purchase books that would not break the bank, because I like to know that I have a library of to-be-read books. So that way, when I'm ready to read a new book, I have choices. I don't know if a lot of people are like that. I know I am. Right now, I have about maybe 25, 30 books in my to-be-read library, and it's not stopping me from purchasing, so I'm always expanding it. But I always have books to read, and I like that. So I went on bookoutlet.com, and again, these are new books. They're not used. Some of them may have, are they in the scratch and dent category, meaning that they may have like a damage on the cover, or the dust jacket may be gone. But for the most part, they're brand new. They do have the little black thing here on all of them. See, they do mark them as having to go over stock. So they have every single category you can think of, and the one I focused on for my first purchase with bookoutlet.com was historical romance. And I'm not big on romance, but I love period stories. I love everything that has to do with Victorian time, everything that has to do with the era around Napoleon time. So anything from like the French Revolution up to 1910, 1920 are really the books that I enjoyed the most. And I got me a whole series of books here they are again, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books on historical romance. So I'm not going to read the back of, you know, the story. I'm going to tell you real quick what they're about, and of course I forgot my glasses at work, so it's going to be difficult. So the first one I got is The Girl in the Gatehouse, and I have to say that these books were either $4.99 or $2.99, depending on what section they were in. Like, I think that this one was in the regular section, so it may have been $4.99. But there's some of them that I got in the scratch and dent sections, and they are absolutely impeccable. I didn't see a scratch or a dent on them, and those were $2.99. So, and then they always have sales of things like that. So The Girl in the Gatehouse, this is happening, I can't remember what era. I think it's right after the Napoleonic War, so it's probably around 1830, 1840, something like that, based on the, you know, costume, I can tell. So the story basically is that this girl was shunned from her family, and she's a writer, and you know, back then that was a big no-no for women to be writers, so she ends up kind of like living in the gatehouse on the big property that nobody really uses, until one day the heir of the property shows up and has big political plans to become either a council or parliament member or something like that. This is happening in England, by the way. And realize that there's this woman living on his property. So, of course, like most, you know, romance that holds its salt, they can't stand each other at the beginning, and then eventually fall in love. And yeah, that's pretty much the story. Intriguing, mysterious, and romantic is what they say about it. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm reading this, but I love that kind of stuff because it's got historical, you know, things in there, and for the most part some of them are really, really accurate. So that's the first one. The second book I got is called Against the Tide, and this one, by the way, is by Julie Klassen. I'm not sure if I'm reading it properly, enunciating it properly. Against the Tide by Elizabeth Camden. Love the cover. Look at that. It's this lady in beautiful Victorian attire in front of a ship. And this one, I'm going to read a little bit because I don't remember for sure, like, you know, entirely what it's about. After childhood rampant with uncertainty, Lydia Palace has carved out a perfect life for herself. She spends days within sight of the bustling Boston Harbor, where her skills with language has landed her an enviable position as a translator for the U.S. Navy. Lydia's talents bring her to the attention of Alexander Bainbridge, a mysterious man in need of a translator. Driven by a campaign to end the opium trade, Bain is coolly analytical and relentless in his quest. He cannot afford to fall for Lydia and must fight the bittersweet love growing between them. And then, of course, there's like a whole thing. I'm not sure if they're going in the middle of war or whatever with the opium trade. So that's another one of those where they can't stand each other at first and then they fall in love, and I love that stuff. So anyway, and by the way, just to let you know what I do when I purchase books on either Abe's or this time around on the Book Outlet, I go on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles and I read the reviews first, and I only purchase books that have an average of 4.5 or 5 stars. So these books have been, you know, read before by other people who enjoyed them, so I'm not just, you know, picking books. This one is called A Bride Most Begrudging. I love the cover, look at that. The bride is crossing her fingers, and it got a prize. This one got the Christie Award, and I believe that this is for Christian fiction. I'm not sure. And the author is Diane Gist. I think that's how you pronounce it. And this one is about tobacco brides. So if you've read In Need of a Good Wife, which I've read a couple of months ago, and it's on my website on mygreatchallenge.blogspot.com. I have like a box where you can see the books I've read lately. This is about brides basically that were coming to the US from England just to get a better life, and they would get purchased by the tobacco farmers and things like this, and a lot of them were wealthy people who just needed a good wife. So, but this one, apparently this girl who's the heir of some kind of a blue blood family line in England gets stuck on the boat and is being confused as one of the tobacco brides, and this guy picks her up because all he wants is somebody to cook and clean and take care of his little sister, and he's lost his first wife, I believe, or his fiancée, and that relationship doesn't go too well. The girl doesn't know how to do anything because she was an aristocrat. So yeah, that sounds real fun as a read. It got some kind of award, so I'm pretty sure this is going to be good. The next one is The Orchid House, and this is by Lucinda Riley, and oh, I love the cover too. And I'm not judging a book by its cover, but look at this, isn't it pretty? Really like this. So this one is spanning from 1930 to the present, so it's a little bit off my my timeline. From the Wharton Park estate in England to Thailand. This sweeping novel tells the tale of a concert pianist and the aristocratic Crawford family whose shocking secrets are revealed, leading to devastating consequences. So my understanding is that in this one there's like a big family secret that destroyed the entire family at some point in the book, or at least at the beginning, and then the main character finds a diary that explained what happened, and it takes you back to Thailand in the midst of World War II. So basically what happened was like there was some kind of affair that was going on, and so it's just like a big, kind of like an American tragedy type story. And this atmosphere story alternates between the magical world of Wharton Park, that's England, and Thailand during World War II, filled with twists and turns, passions and lies, and ultimately redemption. So yeah, I'm really excited to read about this because it's about Thailand as well, and I love everything that happens in China, Japan, and all of the Asian countries like Thailand, Vietnam, things like this. So really excited about this. The next one is called Fallen Woman by Sandra Dallas. Look at the cover. Isn't that an absolute gorgeous cover? Really like the cover. So this one is really interesting to me. In the spring of 1885, so yeah, it's definitely Victorian time. And wealthy New York socialite Berit Osmundsden has been estranged from her youngest sister Lily for a year when she gets word from her aunt and uncle that Lily has died suddenly in Denver. What they do not tell her is that Lily has become a prostitute and was brutally murdered in the brothel where she was living. When Berit discovers the sordid truth of Lily's death, she makes her way to Denver, determined to find her sister's murderer. Then there's this guy, Detective Mike Macaulay, may not want her involved in the case, but Berit is resolute, and the investigation soon takes her from the dangerous, seedy underworld of Denver's Tenderloin to the highest levels of Denver society. Along the way, Berit not only learns the depth of Lily's depravity, but also exposes the sinister side of Gilded Age ambition in the process. So, I said I was going to read the stuff, but I am anyway. Yeah, so this looks really good. It's almost like a kind of like a murder mystery under Victorian time, but it's got like a lot of bad details about the underworld, and it's mixed with upper society and, gentlemen going to see prostitutes and things like this. It looks really good. Like that. The next one is Cascade by Marian O'Hara. Look at this cover. Isn't that beautiful? And I don't know, it's an art to do book covers because you got to be able to tell the whole story of one image and make it appealing. So this one is also very interesting to me. Cascade, Massachusetts. 1935, Desdemona Hart Spaulding, a talented young artist who studied in Paris, has sacrificed her dreams of working in New York City to put a roof over a newly bankrupt and ailing father's head. 2 months later, he has died, and Des is bound by the promises she has made to her father, her husband, and her town. Then she's stifled by her marriage to kind but conservative Asa, or Ase is his name, who is impatient to start a family, and her ambitions are fading. She also stands to lose her father's legacy, the Cascade Shakespeare Theatre, as Massachusetts decides whether to flood Cascade to create a new reservoir for Boston. Amid this turmoil arrives Jacob Solomon, a fellow artist and kindred spirit for whom this feels an immediate and strong attraction. As their relationship reaches a pivotal moment, a man is found dead in the town point. Its collective fingers at Jacob, a Jewish outsider. When unexpected acclaim and a chance to recapture lost dreams of life in New York City arise, Des must make an impossible choice. So is she going to go to New York City and do theater life, or is she going to stay in her little theater out in Massachusetts in a town that may or may not be flooded? We do not know. Sounds real interesting. Like that. And then the last one, oh, that's the one that has a cover that goes the whole double page. It's called The Black Isle by Sandy Tan, and again this got to do with the Navy and ships and some Asian stuff, and I think it's a ghost story too, which is not the kind of stories that I usually read, but this one looked really appealing. Uprooted from Shanghai with her father and twin brother, young Cassandra finds the Black Isle, bustling immigrant-filled seaport, swampy jungle and grand rubber plantations, a sharp contrast to the city of her childhood. And she soon makes another discovery. The Black Isle is swarming with ghosts. Haunted and lonely, Cassandra at first tries to ignore her ability to see the restless apparitions that drifts down the street and crouch in cold corners at school. Yet despite its struggles with their spirits, Cassandra comes to love her troubled new home, and soon she attracts the notice of a dangerously charismatic man. So yeah, this is taking readers from the 1920s through the Japanese occupation during World War II to the Isle's radical transformation into a gleaming cosmopolitan city. A sweeping epic, a deeply imagined, fiercely original tale from a vibrant new voice in fiction. And again, this is Sandy Tan, The Black Isle. So that's the last book I got. And I don't know which one to start with because they all look real exciting. And I think I may probably, once I'm done with the Shadow Me series, I'm probably going to either pick The Girl in the Gatehouse or this one to read first, but I'm definitely going to read them all. So yeah, this was a book haul. I know I'm not usually doing things like this, but I just wanted to share something with you about saving some money if you're an avid reader. Go to bookoutlet.com or check out Amazon. Sometimes Amazon has some good deals as well, and you can get like all of these books. Again, I got them for $2.99, $3.99 or $4.99 each. And I remember I had a it was like a special deal with 25% off on your purchase, or buy one get one free, something like that. I spent $32 with shipping for all these books, and I think that was a great deal, and that's probably going to carry me over the entire summer, if not into the fall, because I fall asleep when I start reading, and I love reading, but I'm just so tired at night. So I read maybe like 1 or 2 chapters, and then I just, you know, I drift off and I stop. So yeah. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. Comment below if you've read any of these books and want to give a little quick review. So maybe you want to push me into reading another one of those first instead of The Girl in the Gatehouse or Fallen Women. You never know. And tell me what you think of those books. And bookoutlet.com if you go and visit it. And yeah, so thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!